Yes, yes, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today that dry season is over. I tell you what, it's a fantastic day going on today, and want to take some time and just share with you what's happening today. And you know, and we want to take some time today and share with you some powerful things that are taking place. And if you joined us today, definitely want to thank you for being on. But more so, it is your time to experience those financial rewards for yourself and for your family members. And I was going to go into part 4 of the wealth transference. We've been talking about how the wealth is being transferred in the economy. We've been hearing this term, the new economy, and what the new economy is. But I want to talk about something a little bit different today. We're going to pick back up next week, continuation of the great wealth transference and how you can position yourself for wealth. But, I want to talk about something today, and it's some things happened over the weekend that just really sparked my interest and just brought this to my attention. It was Black Friday, and I'm running into 2 types of people right now, and this is the conversation I've been hearing. From one type of individuals, I've been hearing, man, it's rough out here. There's no jobs. The economy is real bad. Home foreclosures, and I got all this debt, and I just don't know what's gonna happen. I'm so fearful right now. I don't know what's gonna happen for my kids, and I'm just worried about the future. And that's the one type of individual I've been running into. Then it's the second individuals that I've been running to, and their conversation has been, man, it's the greatest wealth transference taking place. I mean, right now is the best time in history to prosper. If you want to become financially empowered, this is the best time in history to ever become successful financially. And I had to ask myself, why are people having 2 totally different conversations? I mean, they're on the opposite end of the spectrum. One people are saying it's the baddest time ever. Then the other groups of people are saying it's the best time ever. And I'm wanting to see why are the conversations so different. So let me share with you something that just kind of blew me away this weekend to kind of raise your eyebrows a little bit. People are saying it's the worst time ever, okay? But over this weekend, it was Black Friday. People ran into shop. They opened up the stores at 12 midnight now instead of early in the morning at 4 and 5 a.m. There were record-setting numbers of people setting up tents outside of these stores, eating their Thanksgiving dinner outside of these stores so they can be one of the first ones to get inside the store. Record-setting. Then it was record-setting crowds that bombarded these doors. I mean, they bombarded doors. You can Google it on YouTube and on the internet. You will see videos of literally thousands and thousands of people rushing in through these doors, almost knocking down the employees. Employees had to dive head first to get out the way once they opened up the door. It was so many people rushing through the door. People were fighting over DVDs, iPods. They were grabbing them. I saw a video where one lady, she finally got out the crowd of people. She had her little box, whatever she grabbed, and she was walking away, and somebody walks up to her and just snatches it right out of her arms and took off with it. And people were doing all of this, and they were the same people that when I talk to them, they say, man, it's the worst time in the economy history. But they're lining up outside of these stores, and they're waiting hours and hours and hours to go in there. And we broke records. Yeah, we broke records. This weekend, they generated over $52.4 billion over this Black Friday weekend. It was a 16% increase over what it was last year. Last year was about $45 billion, which was supposed to be a bad time in the economy also. But we increased it by 16% to $52.4 billion. And online shopping, Cyber Monday, that increased to $1.2 billion. So my question is this: what is the reality for you? Is it the worst time ever in the economy, or is it the best time ever in the economy? And let me share with you the difference maker in that conversation. The people that are saying it's the worst time in the economy, they stopped dreaming. Their dreams are dead. Their dreams that they had as a young kid, as a teenager, it is on the shelf in their homes, and it's collecting dust. They don't have any dreams anymore. They don't believe in dreams can come true anymore. They just believe that it's just the mundane of life, and here I got to serve out the next 30, 40 years on this earth, retire, dead broke, go on to my grave broke, and then when I get up to heaven, that's when I'll get all the glory. That's when I'll get all the riches. That's when I'll live out this prosperous lifestyle. They have given up that they can live prosperous right here on earth. They have quit on their dreams. They'll quit on themselves. They'll quit on their families. And those are the people that's saying, oh, it's the worst time ever. But also those were the same individuals that was bombarding in those lines to rush to get into those stores, because what they're doing is they want to cover up the depression that they're not following their dreams anymore by going out and spending money, by going shopping. It's already been scientifically proven that people, when they're emotionally down, when they're depressed, they go and shop and spend money. That's why it was a record-setting $52 billion, because we have a record amount of people out of here that has quit on their dreams. They've given up on their dreams. And I want to take some time, I want to talk a little bit about dreams today, because this weekend when I was out and about and I was riding around with some friends, and we're out on looking at $10 million yachts driving past us. We were riding past $10, $20, $30 million homes that people were living in. And these people weren't worried about the price of gas. They weren't worried about the economy. They were saying it was the best time in history to become prosperous, to become wealthy. Their conversations were different. They were talking about their dreams, their aspirations, these visions and dreams that they had that they want to have to come to pass. And they were focusing on those dreams. And I want to talk about having a dream. You know, myself personally, I had a dream at a very young age. And has that dream matured and developed and grown? Yes, it has. But let me share with you where I came from. You know, you might be listening on the radio, or maybe you're on the internet, or you're on Facebook or Ustream, or wherever you're listening right now on your iPod or your cell phone. You might be saying to yourself, oh yeah, this guy, he can talk that. Yeah, he's on the radio. He's all over the internet. People's listening to him. Yeah, he's built a business. He's become successful. He got lucky. That's what a lot of people say to me. Man, Andre, you were lucky. You were one of the lucky ones. Oh, you were blessed. God just picked you out of everybody else, and you are blessed. And they tell me this all this time, and I say to myself, do they really know where I came from? Do they understand the trials, the tests, the tribulations that I had to go through to get to this point in my life? I hear people say that to me all the time. You were lucky. Oh, you were blessed. Oh, you were in the right place at the right time. Oh, you had good parents that raised you right. You know, oh, you probably got a college degree and all this education, and you're bright and brilliant. Oh, you can talk real well and all this. But I want to share with you today some things about me and my past, where I came from, so you can understand that I didn't have a gold spoon in my mouth, that I didn't get lucky. I had a dream, and I chased that dream. You know, my family migrated to this beautiful country, United States of America, when I was 10 years old. I was born in a third world country in the islands in Kingston, Jamaica. And the reason why we migrated to this country, because this was the land of opportunity. You know, most people that live outside the United States of America, they see this country as the land of opportunity, where they can really come here and really make a successful life for their families. And my mother and father took on that journey when I was 10 years old. And when I came to the States, one of the first challenges that I ran into, as you hear me talking to on the radio now and over the internet or wherever you are listening from, was people couldn't understand what I was saying out of my mouth. I remember going to the, what do you guys call it in America, elementary school, and they did the little assessment to see what grade to put you in. And at that time, I was supposed to be going into the 6th grade, but with the American assessment test, they said, I didn't do too well, so they put me back into the 5th grade. And when I got back into that 5th grade, started going to some of my classes, and the teachers started complaining that they couldn't understand me, and they made me take speech class because they couldn't understand the words that were coming out of my mouth. So that was one of kind of the first experience of challenges in America, was I had to go through speech class, actually for about 2 to 3 years, going through these different speech classes, learning how to say words with the T and the H. And I'll still tell you today that I still have challenges saying some of the English words the way they were put together to be said. And then later on down the line, they started to do some testing because my grades weren't coming back as the best. So they said, well, you know, we want to run some tests. We want to check them on certain tests and things like that. And they ran some tests. I remember going and taking these tests, and I'm saying to myself, you know, what am I taking this for? And about a couple of weeks later, the counselor brought my mom in, and we sat down with the counselor, and he started to discuss, what was the results of the test. He said, well, ma'am, your son seems like he's got a learning disability. Also, the test came back and showed that he's dyslexic, and he has a problem with reading and comprehension. And they said, what we want to do at this time is we want to put him into, I don't know what they called it back then, but I call it, the slow people class. The class where, they put you in this class because basically you're slow. You can't catch up like the rest of the kids. And they put me in a class where maybe it was about 6 of us in this class, and most of the kids in there had some of the same challenges. Also at that time, they said there was different medication that they were experimenting on that would help with dyslexic and help with ADD and things along that line. But my mom, thank God, at that time chose not to put me on these different medications. That was kind of my learning experience here in America. And it went from there to where the high school evaluation test, when I got to high school, I had to take that about 8 times before I finally passed it. And I tell anyone, the only reason why I graduated high school was because my younger sister, she actually wrote a lot of my high school papers. Now, I was in 12th grade. She was in 9th grade. And she was writing my papers so I could graduate high school. And that's the reason why I graduated high school. And they still labeled me as being illiterate when I graduated high school. But one of the thing that really hit me hard was about in 11th grade when I was getting ready to graduate high school. We sat down with a counselor, and the counselor, okay, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do for a living? And I said, I'm good with numbers, math and numbers and algebra and things like that. I'm real good with it. I like money. I want to be around money. I want to be like an accountant or something like that. And he said, oh, okay, accountant, yeah, that's nice. And then he came back about a minute or two saying, well, to be an accountant, you gotta get certified, and you gotta read the law books every year to know all the new laws. And he was like, the law books, he put his hand above the table, they're like this big, showing a real big book that you're gonna have to read every year to know all these different laws. And you got a problem with reading, so you might want to think about something else. And that was the first time in my life that somebody really shot down a dream. And I took it and I said, oh, okay, yeah, well, let me do something else. And I said, well, I'm good with my hands. And, I like cars. He said, well, what about a mechanic? I said, yeah, I'll be a mechanic. That sounds good. So I started taking mechanical courses, and I ended up becoming a mechanic when I graduated high school. And I was making about $375, $400 a week as a mechanic. Worked at a tire shop. I changed tires, did tune-ups. I changed the oils, put brakes on. You know the guy you take your car to when something's wrong with it. That was me. And I did that for years. But I had a dream on the inside of me. I had a dream that I saw myself wealthy. I had a dream that I saw myself empowering people all over this world to become successful and live their life dreams out. I had a dream that there was a better way of life. I had a dream that I had abundance of wealth. I had a dream that I left a legacy behind for my children. And as I started to study more, I saw that people that were successful, their grandkids, their great-great-grandkids had wealth left behind for them. And I remember when I got introduced to my first business concept, and the gentleman said, hey, I can show you how to own your own business. I said, yeah, I'd love to have a mechanic shop. I just don't have $250,000 sitting around right now in the bank to open up a mechanic shop. So he said, oh, no problem. I'll show you how to start one from your home, small investment, no big money, but you'll start to learn how to become a business owner. I said, well, that sounds great. Yeah, what do I need to do? So when he got me started with that business, he said, one of the first things we need to do, you need to read this book. And I said, okay, that sounds great. And he gave me this book. It was called Think and Grow Rich, and it's by Napoleon Hill. And I recommend everybody listening to go out and pick up a copy of that book. Incredible book, absolutely change your life. And he gave the book to me. He said, you read that, it will totally transform your mindset, and it will get you in the mind frame of owning a business, being a business owner so you can become successful. Well, lo and behold, he didn't know that I couldn't read. And I got the book, and every time I would see him, he would say, hey, did you read this chapter yet? Oh, I've been busy at work. Hey, did you read this? Did you read this yet? Oh, I've been this, I've been that. And months went by, and I never read that book. And I got laid off from my job because it was kind of down season. And I remember being in the unemployment office. And as I was in the unemployment office, I'm sitting here thinking like, man, what am I going to do? sitting in the unemployment office, filled out my paperwork. I'm waiting to talk to the little lady, see if I can get some unemployment check. And I'm saying, what am I going to do with my life? And I remember his voice ringing in my ears, hey, read that book. It can change your life. And I said, man, it's a problem. So I got the book out, and I started to read the first chapter. And it took me about 30 minutes to read about 2 or 3 pages. But it was one thing in that first chapter that just stood to me. It said, winners never quit, and quitters never win. And when I read that, I said, I am not going to quit on my dreams. And after that day, I started to bring my dreams back up. I started to dream build. I started when I was broke, didn't have any money, didn't have a job. I was driving an old Nissan Maxima. It was leaking everything except for gas. It leaked oil, transmission fluid. You know, when I would stop somewhere and cut the car off, I would have to grab a gallon of jug of water out the trunk and fill the radiator back up with water so I can drive to the next location. And I remember sitting around, you know, building my business and going to meet potential customers and business partners. And I'm supposed to be telling them about how I can help them to become financially independent, how I can help them to better their health. And I don't even want them to see this raggedy car I'm driving. I would park it, you know, blocks down the road, or I would park it over in the next parking lot when I would go and sit down and meet with them and talk to them about how they can become financially independent, how they can change their health situations, and then go back out there and have to get that gallon of jug and fill that radiator back up and then crank the car up to drive to the next location. But I was chasing my dreams. And I would have times when things didn't go right. And at nighttime, I would leave that appointment, didn't go right. I would drive down the street. I would find the nearest community that's building big old houses. And I would go in there, and these houses would be under construction. I would pull my flashlight out the trunk. I would walk through these houses on the construction. I would say, yeah, this is going to be my kitchen right here. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have some granite countertops over here on this part. Oh, yeah, then I'll walk back over here to the bedroom. I say, yeah, this is going to be the bedroom right here. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have some marble floors up in here in the bathroom. And, oh, yeah, I'm going to have this big old tub over here. Yeah, I'm going to have the big shower heads. And then I would go out there in the garage, and I would look at, the 4-car garage. And, yeah, I'm going to have a Mercedes in here. Yeah, I'm going to have me a big Lincoln and a Cadillac. And I would see all this in the garage, and then I would go around back, and I said, yeah, I'm going to build me a big old deck back here so me and my friends and my families, we can have cookouts and barbecues and have a good time back here on the deck. And I would go out and say, yeah, I wanted to be on the lake, and yeah, I'm going to have my lake down there, and I can go down there with my kids. At the time, didn't even have any kids, and go down there with my kids and have some fun at the lake and have a real good time. And I'm seeing all this, and I barely got $2 in my pocket. Are you hearing me? Don't even have $2 in my pocket, but I'm seeing this house. I'm envisioning this dream coming to pass. I'm seeing exactly how it's going to be laid out. Then I leave out of there, and I'm driving in this clunker. The air conditioning not working, the heat not working. It's wintertime. It's cold outside. I got on layers of clothing so I won't freeze while I'm driving in the car. And as I'm driving down the road, I lean back, and I say, man, this Mercedes sure ride good. My radio don't even work. But I say, man, this Bose system in this Mercedes sure sound good. Oh, man, listen to them tunes on there. I remember at times I used to ride around with headphones on my ears with my little Walkman in the car listening to it. Didn't even have a sound system. But I would imagine myself riding in my nice Mercedes. And, man, this Mercedes sure, ooh, look at that soft leather. Ooh, that soft leather feels good. When it's hot in the summertime and I'm sweating, I started thinking like, ooh, it's sure nice that I got some air-conditioned seats in this Mercedes. It sure feels good. And these are the thoughts that I'm having when I'm driving around in my raggedy car. And I'm saying that to tell you this, that when I was hanging out this weekend with these people and friends of mine that are successful, millionaires, that have this money, that have these homes, that live in a luxurious lifestyle, that is not worried about the economy, that are saying it is the best time in the world to create wealth. It just identified with me, and the only thing difference between those individuals and the people that were rushing the lines and saying it's the worst time in the economy possibly ever is the dreams that they had. That was it. That is the only thing that separated them, was the dreams that was on the inside of them, and they did not stop dreaming. I am here to tell you, don't stop dreaming. Go and get that dream off the shelf. Whatever that dream is, whether it's a house, a car, financial independence, whether it's leaving a legacy behind for your family, whether it's creating a non-profit organization, whatever your dreams are, go and get it off the shelf. Don't sit around and look at the news. Don't sit around and listen to all the negative stuff in the economy, the negative people around you that tell you it cannot happen. Forget those people. Go and get those dreams off the shelf, dust them off, and start looking at your dreams. Now, when we think about dreams, who comes to your mind? Do a certain person come to your mind like, a Martin Luther King that said he had a dream? Does somebody come to your mind like Joseph out of the Bible that had a dream? Does somebody come to your mind like a Bill Gates that had a dream that one day this big old computer that filled up a whole room would eventually be on someone's desk in their home? He had a dream. Joseph had a dream when he came and told all his brothers, I saw the sun and the moon, and everybody was bowing down to me, and I was the man, and I had it going on. And his brothers looked at him like, whatever, Joseph, you done lost your mind. Then they took him, sold him, then he became a slave, went through all the trials, the tests, the tribulation before the dream come to pass. The problem is when you have a dream and you start to talk about it, the test comes. The trials comes, and then you say, oh, well, that's just too much for my britches. I'm thinking too much of myself than I ought to. God gave me all these dreams and visions, but maybe it's just not for me. Maybe it's just for somebody else. I don't have what it takes. I'm undereducated. I don't have the money. I don't have the good looks. I don't have the connections. I don't have the hookups. Me, I'm an old grease monkey mechanic. That can't happen for me. How can I be rich? Man, I can barely read and write. How can I be rich? And you start to knock yourself out the box. But every dreamer in the world went through those same trials, went through those same tests, went through those same tribulations. I am here to tell you that if you got a dream, your dream can come to pass. It's certain things that you're going to have to do. And I'm going to give you 10 things that I did personally. And these are 10 things that the dreamers that I know that are millionaires and billionaires and making things happen in this world, they did these 10 things. And here's what I want to share with you. The first thing that dreamers do to make those dreams come to pass, they take action. Your dream will become a nightmare when you're just dreaming and you don't take any action. Well, Andre, you just don't understand. I don't have any money. So take action. Well, Andre, you just don't understand. I can't read or write. So take action. Well, Andre, you just don't understand. The economy is real bad right now. So take action. That's the first thing you've got to do to help your dreams come to pass, is to take action. You've got to do something. Get a book. Read it. Make a phone call. Start a business. I don't have any money. So start. Look, my first business, I borrowed $200 from my mother and got my first business started. I didn't have any money. I borrowed $200 from my mother. And then guess who was my first customer once I got my business started? My mother. So don't make excuse. Take action. That's the first thing to making your dream come to pass. Number 2 is this. You got to trust God. If God gave you this vision, you're dreaming at nighttime. These visions are coming. If you're dreaming about nice cars, nice houses, fancy stuff, you're dreaming about the good life, it sure is not the devil that's giving you these dreams. So you got to trust God and rely on Him. And understand that your dreams that you're going to have are going to always be bigger than anything you think you can possibly ever achieve in your life. And the reason being is because God has got to get the glory for you accomplishing that. It always seems like it's the underdog that make big things happen. So number 2, you got to trust God. Number 3, you got to develop that burning desire. How do you develop that burning desire? You go out and dream build. You put yourself in houses that you know you can't even buy or even thinking about buying right now. You put yourself around people that are dreaming big and doing big things in their life. That's going to increase that burning desire on the inside of you. You go out and look at Mercedes and test drive them when you don't even have $2 in your pocket to get on the bus. That's how you increase that burning desire. Number 4, spend 0 time around negative people and negative situations. I am telling you, when you listen to that negative news, shut it off. When you listen to negative people talking, get from around those negative individuals. So spend 0 time on negativity. Number 5, you have got to have a positive attitude. You must have a positive attitude. That's number 5. Number 6, you've got to be persistent. Oh, you got to be like a bulldog. You got to lock onto them dreams, and you're not going to let nobody shake you loose of your dreams, goals, and desires of your heart. You've got to be persistent. Number 7, you got to be patient. yeah. You're like, oh, man, persistent and patient? Yeah, you got to be persistent, but then you got to be patient. I know you want that dream to come through tomorrow. I know you want to be debt-free next week, but you got to be patient so your dreams can come to pass. Number 8, you got to be open and flexible. See, you'll start out down a path one way to accomplishing your dreams. Then it might fork off to the right a little bit, then fork off to the left, then go up, then go down. So you got to be open and you got to be flexible. Number 9, you got to really believe in your dream. In other words, you got to build belief in what you're doing. Now, beliefs simply state that if whatever you believe in, good or bad, and you think about it on a consistent basis, it will come to pass. So you've got to believe in your dreams and your desire. And the last one here, number 10, never, ever, ever, ever give up on your dreams. Never, ever, ever, ever give up on your dreams. Winners never quit. That's the reason why they win. And quitters never win. So never, ever, ever, ever give up on your dreams. You know, I've got so much more I want to share with you today, and you know, I ran out of time here. So what I want to do is you can go to our website. I got a book on there that you can download that'll help you. This book is called 5 Steps, guaranteed to enhance your life. You can go to andrepark.com, download that copy of that. Once again, that's Andre Park, AndrePark.com, and download your copy of that. Also, you can call it at our office at area code 386-585-3257. That is 386-585-3257. Look forward to talking to you. Take care. God bless. And I truly, 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 truly look forward to seeing you on the beaches of the world. Have a fantastic day.